Fair warning, there will be spoilers in this video going forward, so if you haven't played the game, be sure to do so before we proceed, and if you did, then welcome, and I hope you enjoy the ride. Cheers! Oh. Ethan, cynical bounty hunter. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Cynical bounty hunter. Stay still. Good, good. Hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. What? He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he's terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That's that a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You've noticed the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to make your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from the belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of God's forsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Break for it. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave as you two watch the rings. You spin, knocking away and sprinting down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off a metal so loud it hits your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine, trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home. He whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Who hired you? Your daddy's at S&OP. They want you home for dinner. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to S&OP right away. That tracker of yours makes this too quick. I was hoping you put up more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That S&OP tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea, even interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying, he laughs at his own. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, I've got myself thinking, where's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate system. We're heading for the exit, he pauses. You trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. Turns you to face him. You run or leave or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But you can meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. Whoa. He pauses. You don't pay my tab, he rattles his handgun, you get the idea. What? Why would he do that? You can meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. You pay my tab. The idea? What the hell? How do I deal with this guy? Letting me go? Not at all. Let's call it open custody. You are free to mooch around the eye as long as you keep paying up. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. Click something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the Compressor Club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Wow. I've never. How's this ever gonna work? Button out. That's good. Let's see if we can deal with this guy. Hey, Ethan's tab. How can someone drink this much in 6 cycles? Ethan hasn't held back while he has been at the compressor. Ethan says you have 2 cycles to pay the tab. He calls it fair-minded. No. So I have to pay the tab. I don't have a choice. Alright, let's do it. Can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from across the bar. You look across to see him leaning across in a pool of light, empty glasses and spilled liquids glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor. This cycle the place is packed. A load of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass on the bar, or they go spending their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. Away. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? 1 round of drinks and we are even? Sleeper, come on. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holster. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I'd think someone in your position might have a better idea of how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with S&R, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. Really? Closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or 2? I'm nothing like you. That's what I'm saying. Ethan is addressing the bar now. Having noticed the attention from the other patrons, you're a coward. I am a professional. Though I should thank you, Ethan wants. His head heavy for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew catching sad little escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Toughening up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, folks. Most turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insults as he walks back towards the bar. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. Thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours. It will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and drums the contents. So please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another one. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his head on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and are out of the going dark. Going dark. Alright. This one. The glowing dark. Alright, so you turn on your heel and you're out of the dark and the sweat stench of the compressor, you walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Dawn. Drive complete, 1 upgrade point. 1 upgrade. Bounty hunter again. How do I deal with this? I'm starving, so I need to get something to eat. Got something to eat, we have some energy at the very least. Go meet with this guy and deal with it. The compressor's quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spaces and a few trunks. Ethan is still in the same stool, the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. Approach him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper, he looks at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here. Take their chits. Stay silent. Bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they've cut him off. Hey! He slams a hand on the bar. Come take the chits. The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with his palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back, if you would. Bartender looks at you warily. Crouch down and pick up the gun. This is an interesting choice. I really don't like this guy. I genuinely don't like this guy. Genuinely don't like this guy. So yeah. That is a very big mistake. And, I can't. And usually the game kind of makes you tries to make you go for something like this. But in the real world, if you don't go for this, you're kind of done for. Reality doesn't give you much of an opportunity to go for anything other than this. Let's do that and see what happens. It might be death of us, but who knows? Ethan turns his head in your direction a little, a sharp pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh, he turns on the stool. Oh, sleeper, he stands. This is more like it. Wait. You hold the gun steady, training it on his head. Ethan smiles. Like the dog that caught the car. He turns to the bartender and Mark whispers, I'm not sure they know what to do with it. I could pull the trigger. You keep the gun on Ethan. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well, he says, and grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face in a single move. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters on the surface. The hit, a glancing blow that makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more playing. His head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin. His face closed, his breath heavy with drink. S&R just screwed me, he grins maniacally. They cancelled the contract. He stands up. They cancelled the contract! He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples. His face pale, you hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ooh. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. "I'll kill all of you," he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. "I'll be back for that," he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. Rumble of conversation returns. Bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Dawn. Ethan's vendetta. Ethan may be disarmed, but you doubt you've seen the last of him. Yes, he'll probably be back at some point. Don't know when, but he will be back. Certainly. Oops. Dom. This guy. Yeah, miss me? Ethan smiles with a ragged smile at you. I really dislike this guy. You look at him, he's paler than usual, hunched. He's sprouting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Friend? Well, colleague? He smiles weakly. This is big, really big stuff about you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember now how Ace and Arp cancelled the contract on you, the contract I was going to collect? I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that stuff. Overjoyed? Me? I lost everything. Let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so, what did you think? That was it? He's silent. Well, it was, except Ethan leaves a drastic pause. What if old S and Arp gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who is even more of a little problem than yours truly? He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. Oh, bluffing. Sure, you could think that, but then you'll wake up or not with a bullet in your head, one of these cycles. And if you could think, which you won't be able to because of the bullets, you'd be thinking, oh, I wish I'd listened to Ethan. Ethan finishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down, and it turns out Ace and Arp cancelled all their bounty contracts, the whole lot. It seems they've brought someone in-house, some guy who did such a good job on their last contract, they got offered the job. He leans in. Apparently he made a hit on this ship called the Winter Wonderland or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under S and Arp's big corporate nose. Killed the crew and blew the ship. Wow. Smuggling sleepers out from under S and Arp's big corporate nose. Killed the crew and blew the ship. Wow. He called him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forget. You mean went to light? That's it. He looks at you hard. So you know about all this? He pats you on the shoulder. And you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I brought to light, it seems like you and I are in need of protection. Bitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there. The owners, and they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. It seems that they are that kind of businessman. Grimaces. I would pay them, but he shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out. In a mime of poverty, he looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now. But I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. Kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he says. I'm sorry for being this kind of guy and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us? He jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. Straight 50-50 deal. Looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. Ethan smiles. He looks like... He's in a bad position. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about the cold-eyed SNR guy on his way here from the core systems, he smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Finn swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket on his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you. You drive. Dawn. I still haven't gotten rid of bounty hunters. I might have gotten rid of him, but actually I haven't gotten rid of him. Can I deal with the compressor stuff? Ethan's dead, and as the compressor's owners are local gangsters. Now Ethan has to work off his debt if he wants to keep breathing. Oh man, do I have to do this? Do I really have to? I have to endure? Back, work the front, work every single thing. Positive, nice. And one that's certain. Probably need the one that's certain for the dangerous one. Just do it. Great. Ethan's dead. Let's continue. They are never gonna release my dead little buggers. Ethan kicks at a locker, the sound rattles loudly around the room. Ethan paces around the small room, swearing to himself. You watch him from the locker room bench. Calm down, they'll do it. Ethan laughs. There's no way, he spits on the floor, an old habit. They like having sniveling little buggers like us to work their club. Saves on the overheads and they get to boss us around. He kicks the locker again and swears. What did they say? Some stuff about getting back to me. I swear to God, these are about the most straight-edged gangsters I've ever seen. He laughs at his own joke. I'll do it. I can't spend another shift stopping spaces, bringing nail guns into the club, or pouring endless shots of Girole for ignorant Avenage war crews. He looks at the locker again, threatening it with a final kick. I mean it. I'm going to go up there and shoot every single one of those guys. He makes a finger gun. They deserve it. Hold on. Don't get all excited. I haven't got my gun, remember? Stop spacing, but you know, Sleeper. It's not a bad idea you have there. It's a terrible idea. But is it though? He gives you a look. I mean shooting up the place, I mean getting the gun. He sits beside you on the bench. Think about it. What am I supposed to do when Maywick gets here? Shout him down? I need that gun if you want me to keep up my end of the deal. It's simple, an explosive personality for a distraction at the storefront. Places a hand on his own chest, a sneaky sleeper to go in the back. 2 chests. What about the dead? We've done our time, and the wounds, they faded. If they don't notice us take the gun, they'll never know it's gone. Plus, after my distraction, they'll be happy to see the back of me. Or they'll want you dead even more. Either works. At least I'd have to see the inside of this place again. I'd never have to see the inside of this place again. He gives the locker one last kick. Good luck. Let me know when you want to do this. We both move as one and meet up in the bright market after. But don't take too long or I really will shoot this place up. You know I'll do it. See what happens. Neutral, it's neutral. Positive, grab the gun. When you reach the lockup, there is no one there. You guess the distraction worked. You grab the gun. Continue. The gun tucked safely into a pocket, you work your way down the stairs that lead up to the office. Tallman passes and you exchange nods. It seems like you are in the clear. You hurry on, eager to get out of there before anyone spots anything. Come down to the main stairway and to front the club and you see Ethan entering. He has a dark look in his eyes which troubles you. He is reaching into the pocket of his coat slowly, carefully. You catch his eye and he raises an eyebrow. You shake your head. Long pause and then he nods. turns around, walking back out of the club. You exhale, not realizing you were holding your breath. And then you are out, without a single shout, without anyone noticing. You meet Ethan around the corner on a quiet, bright market walkway. You have it? He looks nervous. Show him the gun. You lift it out of your pocket, and it is colder, heavier than you expected. Ethan watches you take it out. Nice. Now if you could, he beckons with his hand. Memory jumps into your mind of Ethan in the compressor. Hand out, asking for his gun back. A memory followed by the memory of a sharp, dizzying pain. You flinch. The gun. Ethan eagerly grabs it and looks down the sights. Sighs a sigh of relief. Then he meets your eye and slowly raises the gun until it is pointing directly at your head. Not funny. You still don't get it, do you, Sleeper? Ethan spits. When they cancelled that contract, I lost everything. My reputation, my payouts, any way of getting off this station. Everything. All I had left was you. A naive little sleeper with a heart of gold. I couldn't believe it worked, he laughed. And now we are done. He slides his slate out of his jacket pocket with his other hand. Now to call Maywick. You crazy? You are crazy, Sleeper, for thinking I'd kill one of my own for you. For what? Helping me wash dishes? He laughs. Long and loud. And you hate him for it. He prods the slate. Done. Puts it away. He's here, you know. On the station. I've been speaking with him. He tells me we can split the contract. Not 50-50, but enough of a finder's fee that I can get out of this place. Interesting. He's lying. At this point, Sleeper, I'm not sure you are the one who I trust to spot a lie. Ethan glances around. I have learned one thing from you, though, Sleeper. In all our cycles working in that club, he smiles. People never know when to cut and run. It's like they freeze in the headlights when the future is bearing down on them. And watch it coming. Watch the death flying in at fraction drive speeds. You had every chance, yet you still kept on going, like some dumb robot going through the motions even though you knew you'd be crushed, he smiles. And let me tell you something else. Shot enters through the upper back and the shot enters through his upper back and he crumples immediately to the ground. You drop too without thinking, pressing yourself to the walkway floor like it might save you. Silence. Darn, this guy is no joke. You look up and you see him coming down the walkway, silent, eyes alight. S&R Hunter. Maywick. You freeze in fear. Here it comes. You see it just by Ethan's crumpled body. The gun. Move. You can't. Move. Inch forward. Move. Go for it. You run forward and a shot sounds out. You feel it ripple over your back. Then your hands are on the gun, and you scramble to your knees behind Ethan's body and fire. You close your eyes, you fire again and again and again until the clip is empty and all that are left are clicks. Then you drop the gun and stand up. You don't hear anyone running, you don't hear anything, you just hear the sound of your own breath. Start walking, stepping over Ethan's static body, walking along the walkway and then past Maywick. His eyes now dark, some mechanical fluid leaking from his chest, perhaps the same fluid that is inside you. You try not to think about it, you keep going, the sound comes back, the eye comes back. And as it does, you hear the sound of thousands of people getting on with their lives, thousands of people who are just going to keep going until they can't anymore. You look up and all you see are the wheeling stars. They are spinning and you are suddenly dizzy, though the eye has always spun like this, hasn't it? You don't stop walking, you keep going. That's all there is now. The path forward isn't up, have left you no history, no past to speak of, just a void that threatens to swallow you if you slow down. You think of Ethan's smile, his voice. Feels sick. Is it over? You're unsure. It ever can be, but you are still here and you can't stop now. There has to be a better end than this.